right, another story here on the Vanguard newspaper on page 26. Of course, what we've been discussing over the last few minutes. NCC approves 50% tariff rise for telecom operators. And then we have Rivers crisis. Why I won't settle rift with Fubara. Mikeo. You can't win political war against Fubara. Reconcile now. Sarah Igbe. That's on page 28 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then we'll just quickly go to the Punch newspaper of Tuesday too. It says court condemns media trial, denies EFCC arrest warrant request, says Otsudeko, others not properly served. Well, the lead story on the Punch newspaper is 50% tariff hike. Nigerians may spend 6.74 trillion naira on calls. That is on page 2. Nigeria might spend 6.7 trillion naira on calls on page 2 of the Vanguard newspaper. Then another writer says Trump returns as 47th US president, rejects transgender illegal migration. I think that was one of the first things that he did. He said there's going to be 2 gender now.
A female?
As far as it's gone.
That is it.
Female
and a male.
And a male.
Not
gender. He does not care about people are doing LGBTQ. No. Transgender, bisexual, homosexual. There are just 2 genders that he recognizes: the male and the female. Now, on page 2, there is a story that says farmer herder crisis. More northern states adopt Ruga to curb clashes. Well, I do have a lot to say on farmer herder clashes.
I was waiting for you to punch
like farmer herder crisis.
Yes.
Well, as you know, I've been privileged to be part of the Comitas project of the Search for Common Ground, contributing to the mitigation of conflicts over natural resources between farmer and herder communities in Adamawa and Taraba State. So, what we've been doing over the last 24 months on that project was, mitigating farmer herder clashes. And then I will tell you that in Taraba State and in Adamawa State, we have witnessed a lot of progress with regards to that. Because the thing is that the idea that the Comitas had was to strengthen farmer-herder relations. When two people are in one accord, there's no fight.
There's no fight.
Why would they fight? So most of the activities of that project centered on, trying to strengthen their relationship. So they understand that, okay, before we became farmers or herders, we were all human beings and we were brothers. And then, back in the years where farmers and herders used to sit on the same table, sit around, the children of the herders, the children of the farmers would go sit, go to farms together, go to get milk from the cows together. And, it was such a beautiful relationship. And then on the Comitas project, we were trying to say that unless we go back to this relationship that they had before, we will not be able to do something much. And then thank God that we've been able to, strengthen their relationship. They have now begun to see each other as the brothers that they are. They now understand that they have there is a common ground that we can both stand on. It doesn't have to be farmers on one side, herders on the other side. There is a common ground that we can all agree on. The thing is that these 2 people are important to us in the society. Farmers are our main providers of food, grains, The herders are our providers of protein. People like me who cannot eat food without meat. If I don't join in the quest to ensure that there's good relationship between these people. Yes, that's why I'm there. I have to ensure that these people can't put in the father because but in Mokahadu we find a common ground, we stay on the same, a level playing field. Then Dukamo would be after all, big now we are all Nigerians.
And we are all important.
We're all Nigerians. And as it is now,
I need you. All of
we have people that are farmers and herders. One person can be a farmer and he has his own cattle. He's a farmer and a herder. There's no rule now that says that this particular people soon a herders. There's this ones that soon a farmers. No, all of them are one and the same. Strengthening their relationships is what they need. Okay, understand that. Okay, these are the issues. There's the issue of cattle roots. There's issue of a farmer trying to ensure that the herder does not enter into his land, and the herder trying to ensure that there's a cattle route for the herders to now pass through, and then the limited natural resources that they have, because that's what is causing this squabble. The limited natural resources. Really, because the population is increasing.
Yes.
Mutane suna now living in the land that are supposed to be, for farming and then for herding. So that issue now, okay, everybody's trying to compete. Let me secure my spot though. If not, Karim Zone Samuda and all that. So this is why I'm interested in this thing.
That one day it's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. So far we have seen that maintaining this relationship is actually achievable if we work together. We just need to work together.
How someone said, since I'm holding.
I like that expression, although I don't know how they used to say it.
But that's
whatever. But you understand. So, it's just trying to say that united we stand, divided we fall. So, and also one tree cannot make a forest. But if you bring your effort, I bring mine, then we can, create this environment where nobody needs to be stereotyped. All of us are just one and the same, and we just have a common goal. That is just peace, because no society will thrive without peace.
There's no society.
Once you're in a society that I can assure you that even development will not reach there.
No development.
Everybody's scared to be there. So you need to, ensure that there is peace, because even on a general note in Nigeria today, we're saying that insecurity is one of the reasons that
Nigeria
development does not thrive. So peace is very paramount in whatever it is that you want to do, because even in the home, if there's no peace, there's a problem. So that is just it. So whether you now take us on a rundown through the summary of this, we can't take all of them because of our time. Yes.
So number one here, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) has approved a 50% tariff increase for telecom companies. The increase followed a frantic push by mobile network operators, MNOs, and other stakeholders for the government to consider the inflation rate and give approval for upward adjustment of the tariff on data, calls, and SMS messages. We're still on the tariff. This is what is banned everywhere, all the newspapers.
Of course.
And number two here, Donald Trump has sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. Returned to the White House. I just like it how they call it the White House. The White House.
The White House. I think there's a country that calls it the Blue House.
Wow.
Wow. What do we call it here again?
Stop it.
Okay.
He was sworn in by Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts. Trump recited the oath of office shortly afternoon ET at an intimate inauguration ceremony inside the rotunda of the Capitol. Number three, 10 more victims severely burned from the tanker explosion along Diko Junction in Gurara local government area of Niger State have died. 7 of the patients died at the General Hospital Suleja, while 3 others died at the General Hospital Sabo Nuse. The special advisor to the Niger governor on digital communications, Ebo, disclosed this on his social media page. This actually caught my attention, and I read through. There was there was an accident, and the tank, Nigerian fuel. They were running towards to get fuel. Imagine if
you see a tank of fuel, and then you're thinking of fuel.
We've been talking this on this breakfast show every single day. This thing leads to explosion. But still yet, we can't still believe that some people still want to go and get that fuel, not thinking of their lives.
The thing is that now person wey dey alive, man, collect fuel. You they are alive, you will collect fuel.
That is it. And this explosion of a thing is something that keeps happening, and also
keeps happening because
accident.
Yes, people have refused to learn. I don't know if you can even attribute some of these things to our bad Nigerian roads.
Yes, and also the recklessness of drivers, because the Niger State government said the drivers, and also I think there should be a way, at least for tankers or trailers, they should have their own separate ways. Imagine a tank of fuel rushing into the town. What if anything happens in the mid side of the city? So I think there is this need for the government at least to build or to have a road for tankers, trailers, and all these big cars, so that all these
they are part of the reasons our roads are even bad. Because you cannot compare the weight of those vehicles to the normal, vehicles that are running just up and down, doing their daily runnings and all that. So it's truly a thing that the Association of Road Transport Owners, and other bodies that are associated with this should look into to ensure that. But I believe that in Taraba State, for example, the governor is making provisions for trailer park for them, because most times what you see on the road is we move around and then you see all these trailers hanging around on the on major highways.
A little accident now.
Why are you on a major highway? Why? So I think that part of the efforts that the Taraba state government is making is to ensure that, okay, this trailer park is fixed and then all these trailers remain there.
Yeah.
Because we cannot use plenty money to come and fix a road and then you people are just moving up and down, causing accidents on a road that is even narrow already.
It's very narrow, and also it causes like this hold up. You know, maybe when a car, maybe the trailer is is faulty. If it stands there before you're going to look for a way to move, there's going to be
your way around it.
Hold-ups. I think that having their own road is something that the government should actually look into. Number 4 here, a federal high court in Abuja has fixed January 30th for the hearing in the suit by Dangote Petroleum Refinery and FZE, which seeks to void all petrol import licenses for some oil marketing companies. Justice Eko endowed the matter on Monday to enable the service of the court papers on parties. Number 5 here, the federal government territory FCT minister Wike on Monday urged residents of the territory to keep faith with President Bola Tinubu's administration, saying the president team in the FCT is made up of credible people and not usually Nigerian politicians. Wike spoke in Abaji town headquarters of Abaji area council, where he commissioned the 5-kilometer River Oko on Hausawa Road with 2 span rivers bridge and adjoining streets. Number 5 here, the Federal High Court in Lagos has ordered substituted service of charge on the chairman of the Honeywell Group, Oba, and former First Bank Managing Director Stephen, who are facing allegedly 13 court bordering on alleged 12.3 billion naira fraud. Wow. The defendant had been scheduled for arraignment on Monday before Justice C.J. Aneke. They were, however, absent with their lawyers, protesting that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had not served the charge on them. Number 7 here, 3 people, including a toddler, have been confirmed dead when a passenger boat traveling from Port Harcourt to Boni in Boni local government area of Rivers State capsized on Sunday evening. It was gathered that the incident was caused by a storm at an area called Yellow Platform near Boni Island at about 5 p.m. You know, I remember with Musa here, there was in the breakfast show, he said, actually, in everything we do, you know, those on the riverside, you know, maybe you're traveling to Okari, you know, there's always this street ways to put in
the life jacket,
as we say. But you know, this is something that they tend to neglect. If the accident occur like this, at least with your life jacket, we know that everything is the end of God, but at least God knows that you have saved yourself first before any other thing. But when you look maybe into this, maybe there was no life jacket on maybe.
I know that is even the South.
Yeah.
The South has a lot of it's mostly covered by water. I served in the South and I know this very well.
Yeah.
And I know that during my time, that was around 2018, 2019, NYSC made it a mandatory thing that if you're a core member and you're traveling on water without a life jacket, it attracts a punishment.
Good.
You cannot be on water as a core member without a life jacket.
Good.
It became like a mandatory thing. You have to have a life jacket.
Like, it's not
if you don't have one, if there's no life jacket for you to travel with, then you should not even travel at all.
At least.
And I think that if those measures, you know, were extended to other people in the society, not just to the core members, it would have gone a long way in curbing some of these issues. Because even a couple of, I think back in last year or 2023 or so, in Taraba State, we had a lot of issues of boats capsizing.
Yes.
One in the EP and then the other one in the around the Karim Lamido local government area. And a lot of people died.
A lot of people died.
Which made me question then that, what are we doing about life jackets? Because I have traveled on this river EP a couple of times. Not for once has anyone offered me a life jacket, you know, to wear and travel with. Okay. I know that people that are doing this business by the riverbanks, transporting vehicles and people from one end of the stream, the river, to the other, this could be a good business. I felt it could be a good business. Get these life jackets, whether it's from government or from you people know that government is aware that you people are here and you're working here. Get these life jackets. from whatever ministry is responsible for this. Keep them by the roots, by the riverbanks. People should wear them.
Wear them. It's not even heavy as you get.
It's not heavy.
It is not.
So at least should an incident occur where the boat, capsizes, there's a chance of saving more people than when people are not on life jackets. Because somebody like me, I would drown, because I don't know how to swim. Me and Waka were not friends. I would drown. So if there's a life jacket, at least it increases your chances of saving more people than usual. But I don't know why we have neglected that life jacket issue. It has become something so trivial. When you talk about it, people are looking at it like, is she in this country?
It's something, at least it's not just traveling, just there. But
it's safety. It's even with Nigerians. We don't take safety as a matter of seriousness.
Yes.
Even when it comes to our health. Somebody will stay at home and he said, I have a headache. You have a headache that lasted for a whole day. And he did not go for a checkup. He did not see any, because typical of us Nigerians, 2 years will pass and trust me, somebody has not set foot inside the hospital. Like, okay, because you're not feeling, and people will proudly tell you that. Are you serious?
Haka Allah ya nufa kuma kin san me wannan zo nayi ciwon nan
in nayi ciwon nan har sai an yi kamar zan mutu. Like, you're proud of it. Why are you proud of this situation? Because some of these things you could have known if you had gone. You don't need to be sick.
And do you know
to go to the hospital for
they don't actually, they used to forget that, okay, it's because I don't go to the hospital. That's why if I should fall sick.
You know that whether you're sick or not, at least a routine check. Go to the hospital and do the normal general test.
What is it?
So just tell them to conduct a general test. Just do a general test. Let me see if I am healthy. My blood level is okay. My sugar level is okay. Am I healthy? Do I have this? Do I have that?
Something.
Which is why for some people, before they realize that they have an underlying disease, they are already on their way. To go back to their
and you know what it's going to be like? Just ciwon kai ne kawai fa. Ciwon kai ne kawai.
Ya yi bacci kawai ta tashi ba.
How?
Ciwon ciki kawai fa ta yi complain da ta ce tana jin ciwon ciki kawai shine fa abun kan ya zo da karan kwana. We find a way to justify some of these our negligent behaviors. Abun ya zo ne da karan kwana. Ya yi zo da karan kwana. Probably, we are not saying that some of these things are not ordained by God or something.
They are actually.
But some of these things could have been prevented.
Yes.
It could have been prevented. And sometimes quality health service delivery that is very key in the health sector.
That is it.
Whether we want to talk about this or not, whether we want to offend government officials or the healthcare community, we just have to say it. Because I've seen situations where a person is involved in an accident and is taken to the hospital. They just do a normal routine check and they check, and then the person, you send the person off. When you did not bother to look inwards. There could have been an internal injury.
That is it.
The person would go back home bleeding from within.
But before you know it, the person has passed on.
The same thing for road accidents. People would be in the vehicle and they are not wearing seatbelt.
Yeah. But these are some of the things that we neglect.
When they have an accident and then everybody dies, and it's not remaining the driver. It's when I don't the driver come survive it. They have forgotten that probably he has taken 1 or 2 safety measures.
Yes.
That have maybe enabled him to scale out of that accident, maybe with little or no injury at all. But you that did not wear life jacket, seatbelt. You can't some assaulted and flinged you out of the window. What are you saying?
But these are some things that we tend to neglect a lot. In my country, it's something we neglect a lot.
We do not rate our safety as something of paramount importance.
Just something as and when you're being too careful, people look at you and say, like, this one should really in this town.
And in some cases, people will say, to insume take us from Nakena.
Yes.
Nigerian.
You're trying to
come Nigeria and it take us from now. So it will be as if you are trying to do steez. You are trying to maintain steez and composure. What if I'm maintaining steez and composure? What if I'm maintaining steez and composure? You see, this thing is just a general thing that around the society, people do not take safety very seriously. Even within the Angwa,
People don't.
You know, the other time we were talking about, people will see somebody that is moving funny in their mouth. And they will say, when the thing now happens, they will say, I want to that. You get
What's in a collision?
What the guy in the Bible doing anti-Kibani? I only about him that I don't quite understand. And then the thing happened.
Had already happened.
And you did not say anything. Meanwhile, you saw
everything.
Acquiring something we call the search for common ground. Early warning, early response. Like that's the ERA system. There are early warning signs. You know that
like, I've said it
there is an impending doom or catastrophe or something you know that is bound to happen because these are signs of abundance.
Yes,
but you did not bother. And if you do not take early warning signs seriously, you cannot have an early response. There's no way because you see a lot of people will say that Kai, I have a headache. Not engine you
like it,
and you know that Canada be giver. So one about early warning sign, that is an early warning sign.
What you need to do is
you know that you need to brace yourself up. Go and check your BP immediately. You don't know when you're doing something very stressful. Find a way to sit down, relax. If you're on medication, find a way to take your medication and do it. So it's same for even the environment. You are seeing foreign elements and one in your community.
Yeah.
You did not do anything. You notice that there is a very high influx of people in the community. You know this is not usual. One early warning sign,
that is it.
You did not bother.
Until when it happens,
when you rapid case of kidnapping, the banditry attack, I notice and then this is why I used to say that some informations are just useless.
Yeah,
it's just like, you know, on a very lighter note now, you have seen a girl that you like as a guy. And then you've been liking this girl, you're crushing her, maybe she's somebody in your working environment or you did not say anything. Say you left the issue. Hari and Tazo, maybe Tazo cutting our after. Say and I used to like it, but that is a very useless piece of information. Once the thing has become in past tense, I used to like you. It's a very useless piece of information. So she knows some of these issues. You don't hurry, you're talking about it now in the past tense when you should have talked about it when it was happening. It's a useless piece of information because that information has not helped anybody.
Yeah.
You could have used that information to help the police in their investigation.
Yes, now.
You would have used this information to, you know, save your own self.
You know, so that when it happened, you'll be like, I told you. I told you. Be like,
you know, something that I told you. I told you. It's bragging rights for me. Like,
now.
I told him this thing.
Wherever this case goes to, be like, I told you.
It's good to. It's better to say, it's not about a jiba. Than for you to come and say, that's so in there. That's two different things. It revolves around when you see something,
you should say something. Say something.
When a piece of information it may not be useful for maybe based on your own understanding, but that would have been the key issue that would have solved a certain problem. So don't underestimate the importance of an early warning sign.
That is it.
Once you see something that is out of the ordinary, just say it.
Just say it out.
We say it
like this.
I think save a lot of lives.
This should actually be a motto for everybody. If you see something, say something. Say something.
Oh, I know Nigerians will not say that. Me, I want to mind my business. This minding our business, but there is a limit to it.
There is, seriously.
But you mind your business.
So they'll be like,
issues that if you mind your business on, a whole society might die.
Yes.
Because you decided to mind your business. So if you're even saying that, okay, you're doing it for yourself, then what about your other relatives, your associates, your friends that are scattered all over the world that you don't even know? You may be helping one person or the other. You're from back, one can go be, or your child, or your parents. That is just the thing with this thing. So you can't even tell some of these issues you're taking for granted. You're not saying, Nifa, I like to stay in my lane.
It's not everything that the government will do. It's not everything that the government will do. We ourselves, there are some things that we have to take measures.
I told them, and most of the blame that we apportion to government is because we have our own. We have our own. We are to blame for some of these things because you don't expect that in terms of security, like we were saying, Chiwa. Governor Abuke Haske was in the hour and Ina duba ku ka san yan angon ku ya san yan angon ku ne yaushe ya gama sani yan Taraba ne because he's the number one citizen. That doesn't mean he knows everybody. And she said has aides and special assistants and people in the cabinet that helps him out with this thing. So Kuma, they cannot be everywhere.
Yes, no.
I'm a Kufa and
this is your place in the Pekekwana. This is where you live. This is where you stay.
Go in the environment. Things as little as being a tidying up environment because of diseases. But mosquitoes.
You just sit and wait. I go not
She said that adage in English says that if everybody wakes up and sweeps the front of her door or his door, the whole world will be clean.
Very clean.
In a touch, the shadow go and get the shadow go and get what the shadow go and get. I have a about the government to go some money. We will not need them for any of this.
We actually these days we actually need everything to government. Everything. Government, please. Government should do this. Government has this.
Government, we know when we blame government. So some of this blame we apportion to government. We not to government. When you are born common negligence, I share and money.
Sometimes you take responsibility of our action. Be responsible. Like you be
accountable for your own actions. Because me, I've learned in my life to say that when I laziness now when you say get when you take some responsibility, it keeps you on your toes next time. You will learn to next time to wear it. So for the sake of time, Farida, I think this is where we draw the curtains for today. So from all of us at the production crew and for all of the people here in the studio at Haske TV, we say thank you for staying with us, and we do hope that we will see you tomorrow and the next, and when next again we are on set. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to Haske TV Breakfast Show. I am Christiana Babayo, and from me it's goodbye.
I'm Farida Haq. If you see something, say something.
Ah